afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. My name is Keethan George, and I will be the Sergeant at Arms for today's Medley Toastmasters Club. I welcome you all to the 745th meeting of the Medley Toastmasters Club. Before starting the meeting, I would like to mention 3 ground rules which we follow in our Toastmasters meeting. Number 1, please turn off your mobile phones or put them in silent mode. Second, as Toastmasters, we don't talk about sex, politics, religion, so please refrain from discussing these topics. Third, please do not cross-talk, as everybody in their lives has a mission to achieve their goals. Likewise, Toastmasters Club also has a mission. The mission of Toastmasters Club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. With this, I would like to call a person who is a physiology HOD of Satyabama Medical College. She is a very enthusiastic photographer, and she is the current secretary of Medley Toastmasters Club. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster Anuradha.
Good evening, Medley family members and friends.
Good evening.
With the sound of this gavel, I'll adjourn the meeting number 745. Sorry for this. With the sound of this gavel, I declare the meeting 745 open. Sorry for it. And I like to welcome all the Medley members and guests. And I like to recognize our chartered member and former area director and former president of Medley, DTM Sampath. And I also like to recognize Toastmaster Saravanan, former president and current area director of C3. I also like to recognize DTM Alex Jacob. He is a chartered member of various Toastmaster clubs. So with this, I like to call the guest. Yes, please. Yes, please come. Welcome to Medley. Please introduce yourself and tell us how come you know about Medley and what is your expectation from us?
Myself, Ranjit Kumar. This is my second meeting of Toastmasters as a guest. I am pursuing MBA first year at the Indian Institute of Technology, IIT Madras. My expectations from IIT Medley Toastmasters is about improving public speaking and leadership skills, where I get an exposure to learn from the very professionals. I get to know about Toastmasters during my second year of work experience, maybe in the year 2020, where my assistant general manager of my previous organization used to mention about Toastmasters at various levels, how we get into Toastmasters, how Toastmasters helped in learn public speaking skills. So that was the turning point for me to know more about Toastmasters, and it was a very curious point. So I consider this particular time to get into Toastmasters and learn from this. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other guests? Okay. So I like to share a few things before starting the meeting. That is the impact of Toastmasters in my professional career. I have been in teaching profession for past 17 years, and I have delivered so many lectures in college level and state level and national level. But yesterday I delivered a lecture in Sri Balaji Medical College, Krompet. That was a memorable lecture for me because it was fully influenced by Toastmaster experience. The previous speaker, when I saw, I became like an evaluator. I started evaluating how she started, how she is going, and how she ended. I didn't like it, but I didn't tell outside. Then when I started, initially I grabbed the attention of the students. There was around 300 students and time is 4 p.m. My session was the last session. So it is a great task to retain them at the evening time, at the last session of 2 days conference. So initially I grabbed the attention by our usual things. Then I took them by the interactive session and the transition, and I ended with the strong ending. So there was a take-home message for the students which they came and told me after the session. So I felt very proud to be a Medley Toastmaster, and I evaluated after coming home. My confidence level increased after 1 year of Toastmastership, and my vocabulary increased, and my communication skill also increased. So it will definitely, for the guest, I'll tell, definitely it will be like a miracle in your life. You will improve by yourself without your concentration. But only thing is, only one condition is, you must come. So, neenga vanda mattum podum. Remaining thing will happen automatically. So with this, I like to introduce the Toastmaster of the day, our chartered member, former area director, and former president of Medley Toastmaster Club, DTM Sampath. He was a Toastmaster for past 21 years. Whatever role he takes in our club, it will be like a education session for us. I used to take notes, whatever he is doing. So let us welcome DTM Sampath. Welcome, sir.
I'm thankful it is not taken as a speech and then she starts evaluating. Only education session she takes notes of. Good afternoon, friends. I would have loved to see more faces, but who are here should be encouraged and appreciated, not considering who are not here. So today's session, before starting, I will say something. It is a tradition in Toastmasters to talk about Toastmasters, to give information to newcomers and also to remind ourselves. Usually there is a tradition. The presiding officer talks about Toastmaster International. So you all know that Ralph Medley started blah blah blah. That's okay, I leave it. About this club, usually the Toastmaster talks about the current club. So our club, the first founding member is Toastmaster Santi Swaminathan. She is now in Pune. She wanted to start, and later on they were starting in a remote place. They could not get enough members. Then DTM Vijayarajan came, and he brought the thing to Gandhinagar Club. Then it grew, and the rest, as they say, is mystery, Medley history. So, about the theme of the day, saying is believing. Is there something wrong about this phrase? Seeing is believing. No, that's another thing. Saying is believing. Normally, the concept is like this. You have to say only what you believe. First of all, you have to be convinced what I am saying is meaningful, purposeful. Then only you should convey that message to others. We always say that. In fact, when you believe, that comes as a better speech. It is experience of the Toastmasters. Now our presiding officer, last year, she could not have done yesterday's program the way she did yesterday, because she has taken a lot of things inside her, and she has made a new personality inside her with the beliefs and better ideas. So she could do that. So you have to have some belief. Based on that you should do it. But why did I put it as saying is believing? I will tell you, in my first club also I was a charter member, and first year anniversary, many people have asked questions. So the question given to me was, what is special about Toastmasters? What really you value most? Then I told this. When you come and speak here, speak out in public, you cannot take back your words. Whatever you speak, you have to abide by that. You have to live by that. So, there may be a very noble idea. Even I am not very much convinced about it, but I know it's a good idea because many people say so. But once I start professing it publicly in a meeting in front of others, repeatedly this happens, then I have no way of going beyond that. So when you say, you will start believing, and in future you will start even doing such thing. I don't have too much of material. There is no Google copy paste at all in my this one, so don't be afraid of that. Now, the standard format of a Toastmaster Club meeting is prepared speech, table topic speech, and evaluation session. Occasionally we have education programs and some special programs. Today there is going to be a special program. We will come to that later. Now, in the prepared speech session, people come with prepared ideas as per some project. Then the table topic, they come and on the spot they do it. But whatever these people do and whatever other role players do, everything goes waste if we don't learn anything from that. The fulcrum of Toastmastering experience is we have a mechanism of improving, an automatic, a routine mechanism of improving. That is by using feedback to improve ourselves. We don't come here and give a speech and then forget the whole thing and go on. So there is a lot of reaction from others, specifically from a specific evaluator and feedback from others. Based on that, we keep improving. This is what shall I say, a unique selling proposition of Toastmasters. Though we don't always sell it like this, we sell it based on confidence and public speaking and other things. But in my opinion, this is the USP of Toastmasters. It makes Toastmaster program very successful for people who are going beyond 6 months, 1 year, 2 years like this. Now today, to lead the team of doing this evaluation process, we have somebody who is usually designated as the general evaluator. Today's general evaluator is an older member of Medley who has again come and joined. In my reckoning, I have seen him perform. He's an excellent speaker and evaluator, and he can, because he has got his own style of thinking and expressing things. So Toastmaster Vijayarajan says he is a serial entrepreneur, right now working as an assistant vice president in an Irish-based IT company, Cube Match Claritas. That's the company name. He strongly believes win-win approach in anything and everything for a long-term success or relationship. May I invite Toastmaster Vijayarajan to start the proceedings.
Thank you, Mr. TMoD. Good evening, Toastmasters and my dear guests.
Good evening.
Today I have taken the role of a general evaluator. The purpose of a general evaluator is to evaluate anything and everything that happens in a meeting from the beginning till the end, to evaluate and give feedback at the end of the meeting, each and everything. Anything that happened good, also something that could have done still more better. Anything will be observed. And in order to do this evaluation, I have a team of evaluators and tag team. Today, timer is V. Sri Jai Anand. He has completed his UG in BA English Literature, and he is passionate about reading articles or magazines in sports. Let me invite Toastmaster V. Sri Jai on stage to brief about his role.
Hello, good afternoon all. And
Good afternoon.
how are you going?
Great.
And before moving to the proceedings of the day, I would like to congratulate the ISRO scientists for achieving a big mission. It is a very big milestone in Indian space history, as we are termed as the fourth nation. We land on the moon and first to land on the south pole of the moon in more than any other countries, and give them a round of applause. We move into the proceedings, and I'm Vijayarajan, and I'm going to be the timer of this today's meeting. And as a timer, my role is to calculate the time used by every speakers, evaluators, table topic speakers, even these all aspects to be covered by me, and I will submit my report at the end of the meeting. Thank you and have a nice day. Over to you, Pravda.
Thank you, Srijan. Next one to support me is an R counter. Let me call upon Toastmaster Priyadarshini. She is basically a coding manager in Savistar Global Healthcare Solutions. She is a fun-loving person, and she wishes to spread love to the society. And she says that she's a foodie too. And when I asked about her opinion about the theme of the day, she says that whatever we say, it should be communicated with true facts. That's what is her opinion about the theme of the day. Let me invite Toastmaster Priyadarshini on stage to brief about her role.
Good evening, Toastmasters, fellow guests. Good evening. So, the purpose of the R counter is to note words and sounds that are used as a crutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I'll listen for overused words including and, well, but, so, and you know. I'll also listen for filler words including and I'll also note when a speaker repeats a word or a phrase, such as I mean, this means, so those kind of words. At the end of the meeting, I'll report the number of times that each speaker used these expressions. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
The next one is Grammarian in Taxi. Today we have a special person, Toastmaster Sissy Sebastian, as a grammarian. She is basically an MBA in HR management, and she has worked with ICICI earlier, and right now she is a very happy homemaker. And there is one saying, in general saying, that charity is not just giving money, but also giving some motivational words at the right time is a great charity, and she strongly believes in that. And her core belief in life is short, take life as it comes, and embrace every moment. Let me welcome Toastmaster Sissy Sebastian on stage.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As grammarian, it's my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I'll take note of any improper language as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings or thoughts. As grammarian, it's also my duty to introduce the word of the day. For today's meeting, the word is pinnacle, which means the most successful point, the peak. An example of using the word is, winning the champion was the pinnacle of his career. Winning the champion was the pinnacle of his career. Each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day. I will give the grammarian's report when called upon during the meeting and also report on the usage of the word of the day. Thank you.
Today I find three excellent speakers who has achieved pinnacles in life and Toastmasters. In order to evaluate them, I have three wonderful intellectual evaluators today. I'll be coming with them, along with them, in the later part of the meeting. Till the time, let me give the stage to our TM.
Thank you, Jay. Now, if you want to reach the pinnacle as a speaker, you should speak from your heart. You should have a conviction. How to have conviction? How to develop the sincerity, innermost sincerity. Unfortunately, for adults of 2-digit age, above 8-9 years old, there are only 2 methods. Up to 9 years old, they are so intense in curiosity and learning capacity, children can pick up things very fast. But if we want to have a conviction, it has to reach our subconscious. For that, only there are 2 methods. Anybody can guess? We cannot put things in our subconscious mind so easily. The 2 methods are, one is hypnotic suggestion, which I don't recommend for everybody. It can be even somewhat dangerous also sometimes, spoiling the psyche of the person. The other one is auto-suggestion. Auto-suggestion is commonly done by calmly and quietly repeating things to oneself. This is the way the auto-suggestion develops. Now, once it goes in, you want the conviction inside, you start believing in that. What is this repeated auto-suggestion? Keep on saying in speech or in your rehearsals or in your thought process, keep on repeating to yourself, especially when you speak or rehearse and you hear your own voice impacting you, that sings and goes to the subconscious level. If you do that, every speech that you make will come from the inside. It will not be a lip service. That makes it very effective, and the speaker can reach that pinnacle. Now, to continue with that, today's prepared speech program was initially I thought plan, prepare and perform, PPP. Now it has become PPA. So plan, prepare and articulate. Anybody got what I am saying? Praveena, Pravda, Bird. Praveena, Pravda and Alex. PP. So we have 3 excellent speakers. The evaluator of the first speech is Toastmaster Sundaresan, who is here. He is one of my long-time friend. He is also more than 20 years a Toastmaster. He will now read the purpose statement as given in the manual.
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters. Toastmaster Praveena, the first speaker. The speech objectives are for the member to understand the types of persuasive speeches and deliver a persuasive speech at a club level. Good wishes to Madam Toastmaster Praveena. And presentation mastery for this level 3 project 1 with speech title PEP. Over to you, Toastmaster.
The mentor is DTM Sundaresan. The speaker is Toastmaster Praveena. She has got a very simple feedback on introducing herself. At the end of the day, go to bed without any regrets. I think if I leave her at that, I will not go to bed today without regrets. What is your core belief? Please come here. Welcome. What's your core belief? The fundamental belief?
To speak courageously. So when I say at the end of the day you have to go to bed without any regrets, there are so many days, so many years in my life when I felt I should have said this, I should have said that. I was not courageous enough to say. But now, with time, I'm slowly changing, and there are so many situations where there have been, which have not been very comfortable, but then I felt I had to put forth what I had to say. So at that point in time, it was unpleasant, but later on, I realized that was the right thing to say. So it's basically about being courageous and put forth whatever you have to say.
So you are after a righteous courage as a value you want to go towards that. That is your core belief. Righteous courage is a first in life. Please come up with a speech which is called a PEP. It is a presentation mastery level 3 project 1, persuasively speaking or persuasive speaking. 5 to 7 minutes. Timer please note. 5 to 7 minutes. The title is PEP. Welcome for the pep talk.
change your world. Good evening, Toastmasters and dear guests. These are the profound words of Global Peace Ambassador Praveena, and also the founder of the Praveena Foundation, in short form called as TPRF. Every human being to live with dignity, peace, and prosperity should have 3 essentials: food, water, and the third one was very interesting: peace. Is it not money? I thought it is money. As usual, it was a Hollywood movie which gave me more conviction. Have you seen this movie, Eat, Pray, Love? Yeah. So the leading lady, Julia Roberts, had everything she could ask for materially. Yet she was extremely yearning for peace and happiness, real peace and happiness. And where do you think she got it? Interesting. Developing world of India and Bali. So that is when I came to realize money doesn't equate to real peace and happiness. In this day and age, everyone understands that food and water is essential and we take all the efforts for it. But how many of us take effort to achieve personal peace? It is not very often that we see the individual as a person who needs peace. We talk about world peace, we talk about global peace. But like an ocean, every drop counts. And for world peace to be achieved, every single person on the face of this earth should have peace. Is it not? We follow so many methods. And here is one which is proving to be extremely effective. This is called a Peace Education Program, or PEP. This is founded by Mr. Praveena of the TPRF, the Praveena Foundation. It's a 10-session workshop which concentrates on a human core values, which are 10 core values, and a few of them that I would like to tell are peace, appreciation, inner strength, dignity, self-awareness, hope, to name a few. Each session is a 1-hour session, and it's basically a workshop which helps each person to discover their inner potential and inner personal peace. We as human beings these days, how do we rate our success? How do we rate our worth? What is the yardstick that we use? The more money we earn, the more likes that we get on social media, the more followers that we have on Instagram, that is when we think we are successful and happy. But of course, we need to survive in this world. We need to earn, we need to go to all the various social media platforms and ways to better ourselves in the outside world. But don't you think we should draw a line? There should be a balance to all this. These days, we do draw a line, but slowly we are rubbing that line, and that line is going further and further and further away from all of us. Whereas that line should be very close to us, because we human beings are a huge repository of inner strength, inner potential, and positivity. But we don't know how to tap it. That is the problem. So this peace education program helps to do the same thing, just what I had mentioned now. To help a person to go within inside of them, get the focus that is always going outside, to turn within and see the potential that is within inside of us and express it and use it to the maximum, so that we grow into a more self-reliant and self-confident person who obviously will start being in peace and start appreciating one's own self as an individual, rather than being dependent on other people for their comments and what they feel about us. If we are confident, if we know our potential that is within inside of us, why would we be bothered about what other people have to say? So that is where this 10 free certified sessions workshop comes into play. Who is eligible? You have to just be a human being to be eligible to take part in this workshop. It is so successful that it has been practiced in 209 countries in over 30 languages, and like Toastmasters, Peace Education Program or PEP also avoids taboo topics like sex, religion and politics. In Chennai, it has just arrived, but it has arrived with a bang. At the moment, we are doing this program at SRM College in Vadapalani and at Avadi Police Training Center. From September 3rd onwards, this program is going to be aired or going to be conducted in the entire prison of Tamil Nadu, spanning 18,000 prisoners. Because it has been extremely successful, so much so that when this program was run in the prisons all over the world, certain prisons in Telangana have actually closed down because there have been no repeat offenders, and the same story is there for all other countries to follow. If it can change the life of prisoners, don't you think there will be a marked change in people like us, like you and me? These are the appreciation letters, some that I could bring over here and show it to you all. So why am I saying this? What is the need for me to show all this information? It's an appeal and urge from this team of voluntary members to give us a chance to conduct this workshop in your place, be it your community, your organization, school, college, anywhere that you feel there is a small group where we can conduct this workshop. It is absolutely free, it is certified, we just need 10 hours of your time. Because after all, personal peace is important. It helps to change our world, your world, the entire world. Let's practice peace. Thank you.
Friends, please take 20-30 seconds to think about the speech you just witnessed. You can give her one positive point and one point of improvement at the end of the meeting. Earlier. For every speaker, we used to have a system of doing that regularly, even with a form, but we can still rediscover that old method and try to use it. So the second evaluator for today, I missed your name, please. Ajit, yes. Ajit is from Ford, right?
Yeah, Ford.
He's from Ford. So he will evaluate the second project. Can you read that, please?
Toastmaster Pravda is giving her Dynamic Leadership Level 3 Project 2 using presentation software. The purpose of this project is to introduce and review basic presentation software, use the software, understand the color schemes, understand how you can put a template and create a company software presentation. Every presentation is an extension to your speech. The fine line is don't shift your attention to the presentation too much and engage the listeners with their speech. And the purpose of speech for member to demonstrate his or her understanding of how to use presentation software, including creation of slides and incorporating the technology into a speech. The time is 5 to 7 minutes, and mentor TM Prasanna.
As I already mentioned, Toastmaster Shankar is the mentor. I don't know how many of you are familiar with that person. He's an excellent evaluator, very sought after evaluator, and a good speaker too. In fact, he won a humorous speech in our club level contest also. Due to his official engagements, he is not seen nowadays. And the speaker is Toastmaster Pravda. He is very well known. For the introduction today, she is given, she likes to take new challenges and explore her hidden talents. Already we have seen a lot of her talents, now more hidden. Her core belief in life is stay positive, work hard, and miracle happens. So we always think, wait for the miracle to happen. So she is one of them. So she is doing today the Dynamic Leadership Level 3, Project 3 using presentation software. The idea of the project is to use the presentation software, demonstrate and talk about that. So the time given is 5 to 7 minutes, timer please note. The title is Double-Edged Sword. Double-Edged Sword. Welcome, Toastmaster Pravda.
Thank you, TMoD. What do you know about these people? Anybody? These are artificial intelligence generated human faces, and these people do not exist actually. A new AI system generated by a Japanese company produced a high resolution photorealistic images that were used as virtual models to promote their fabric products and without paying any money to real models. Fellow Toastmasters, guests and my dear friends, very good evening to one and all. Human brain is an inimitable structure that is composed of interconnected neurons that transmit signals throughout the body. So far, researchers and scientists are trying to produce a model that mimics the functioning of the human brain. And this is what has led to what is known as artificial intelligence, a highly evolved system that can mimic the function of a human brain and carry out the function that is generally done by a human being. We have witnessed the invasion of artificial intelligence in our day-to-day life. People using smartphones are the majority users of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence has also invaded several industries and disciplines like automation, finance, social media, and health sectors, which was initially thought to be reserved only for human experts. In healthcare industry, artificial intelligence has a plethora of applications, and I feel that the major impact is in 3 domains. One is the imaging, next is surgery, and the third one is the medical devices and wearables. Medical imaging began with the revolutionary discovery of X-ray by Röntgen in 1987 that enabled doctors to visualize inside the body even without cutting open the body. Now, the very first X-ray was taken to his wife by placing his hand for exposing it to radiation for 15 minutes. With the advent of software engineering and digitalization, a 3-dimensional images of any region anatomical site could be obtained within seconds or milliseconds. AI has taken this medical science to a step further. For example, this is a facial surgery that is opted for this patient, and AI generated hard tissue and soft tissue images are superimposed to obtain outcome of the surgery even before the surgery is done. I think you will be able to appreciate the outcome of a surgery using the images that was done even before the surgery was done. This AI and the augmented reality help the surgeons to find out, plan and orient the most favorable and aesthetic outcome of any patient. So far, laparoscopy was a minimally invasive technique, but AI-assisted robotic surgery has made an unmatched method to bring out a precise surgery in many regions of the body, especially in areas which cannot be reached out with human hand. The instrument and a small camera is inserted into any part of the body, and the surgical site is visualized by the surgeon in a 3-dimensional view, and the control is done with a robotic arm by the surgeon and moves the robot. And the most important advantage of this robotic surgery is that it is very minimally invasive, so the amount of blood loss, pain, scarring and the risk of infection is very minimal when compared to conventional surgeries. The next frontier of her science by artificial intelligence is the incorporation of smart sensors using artificial intelligence technology in medical devices and wearables. These are small electronic devices that are attached to the surface of the skin, and they are devised in such a way that they take up the data continuously from the patient for a quantified time, such as their steps and the steps taken, the calories that are burned, the heart rate, the blood pressure, their sleep pattern, and even recently introduced the eye watch with the ECG can even monitor the abnormality that is happening in the heart. And these are mainly used for monitoring the patient on chronic conditions like diabetes, hypertension, asthma, as well as in clinicians to monitor the patients at a remote place. And there are more than billions of these wearables that are available and used globally, and majority of them are authorized by the Food and Drug Administration. Even there is an availability of an AI-mediated toothbrush which can monitor your brushing and your habit as well as the frequency with which you brush, and it also gives access to your dentist, any advice that you need from the oral professionals. Artificial intelligence has reached a pinnacle in several fields and disciplines. Actually, they use the huge data that is available in the market, and they get themselves trained and do this complicated work with more precisely, less error, and with a high degree of precision. Of course, they bring certain threats to us. The people who get addicted to this technology can become lazy, or they lose jobs in some sectors. And the important thing is the data that are collected in these medical devices are stored in some centralized system which do not have a generalized any policy guidelines. So hacking of our personal information is also possible. And the most important, last, is the huge cost that is essential for maintaining and repairing this system. So I feel that artificial intelligence is a cutting-edge technology, is a double-sided sword that needs to be used carefully and optimally for a better result. Over to TMoD.
Artificial intelligence is a very dangerous thing. This plastic surgery showed AI can make all girls equally beautiful. Think of the confusion for men. Please think about one positive and one improvement point for her. Make a note of later on. We'll discuss it. The third evaluator of the day is Toastmaster Prasanna Vani. Can you please read the objectives of the project?
Good afternoon, everyone. DTM Alex is delivering a speech from the Pathway Motivational Strategies Level 3, Project 3. The project is connected with storytelling. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice using a story within a speech or deliver a speech which is a story. The time is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best to you, DTM Alex. Over to you, TMoD.
She has already internalized the purpose of this. And she is speaking from the heart. Well done. Alex Jacob is not new to me because he was a past Medley. He was there in Medley for many years. He started other clubs. His activities also have taken him away from Medley's timings not being convenient for him. Wake Up Toastmasters is one of his initiatives which is quite popularly present in some of our social media. So Alex Jacob is the founder of a space shared office, business coach for startups, and Toastmaster since 2008. His core belief is there is always light at the end of the tunnel, but we need to move towards the end of the tunnel. Okay, got that. The path is Motivational Strategies, Level 3, Project 3, Connect with Storytelling, already mentioned, 5 to 7 minutes. He is giving a title which I don't believe is true in his case. When you are born poor, DTM Alex.
When you are born poor, it's not your mistake. But if you die poor, it's your mistake, says Bill Gates, one of the richest men in the world. Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and my dear Evaluator who by-hearted the speech evaluation. Good afternoon. Standing at the ground floor of BKC Towers in Mumbai, Arjun was not sure where his life was headed. As the lift opened, he saw himself in the mirror, shabbily dressed, uncombed hair, untrimmed face. He was sure life was going nowhere, though the lift was taking him to the 10th floor. He got out of the lift at the 10th floor. The pretty receptionist welcomed him. How can I help you, sir? I would like to meet Mr. Mustafa. Mustafa? Yes. Do you have an appointment, sir? Yes. Arjun sat next to me. I asked him, how do you know Mustafa? Mustafa is my friend. The same question back to me. How do you know Mustafa? Mustafa is my friend too. In a few minutes, Mustafa came out of the office, neatly dressed, jet black hair, clean shave. He looked like a complete man. He invited both of us to his big office in BKC Towers. He showed us the entire office, aesthetically pleasing, ideal workplace for anybody who would like to start a career or finish a career. Finally, we settled in his empty room. While Arjun and I were having a conversation, Mustafa was attending calls after calls. Probably not the ideal time to visit Mustafa, we thought. So would you like to have a coffee or a tea? I said coffee. Arjun said tea. A few minutes later, Mustafa, after his all calls, said, probably it's a good idea to meet for a beer later part of the evening. Both of us agreed instantly. Rather, three of us agreed instantly. Towards the end of the evening, we all three met. But before that, there's a question. How do I know Mustafa? Mustafa and I met in a business conference, and I wanted to meet him for some other business purpose. During the course of the meeting, the beering meeting, I asked Mustafa and Arjun, how do you know each other? The answer was in a line. We are childhood friends. I didn't know much about it, but after a few rounds of beers, a lot of conversation, a lot of emotional stories came out. I was not sure where it was heading. But towards the end, while Mustafa was paying the bill, all I could see was Arjun was hugging Mustafa and crying. Almost like pleading for help. I didn't know what was the story all about. The next day I called Mustafa and wanted to check what was happening. And he narrated the whole story. So Mustafa and Arjun were childhood friends. Arjun comes from the northern part of Kerala. Mustafa lives in the same city. Arjun was from an aristocratic family. A lot of properties, wealth, social power, small industries. Arjun and his family were living a great life with the universe as bestowed to them. Arjun was just enjoying the pleasures of this universe. While Mustafa was a scrap dealer's son, wearing a white t-shirt and a check lungi. Mustafa's father used to go to every household in that small village and used to collect scraps after scraps. And he used to sell to a wholesale. The little money he used to earn, he used to invest back to the children's education. While Arjun passed the 10th, just passed, Mustafa passed in flying colors. Every other situations, every other years in life, Mustafa became very clear and conscious that he has to work really hard to make ends meet. After his graduation, Mustafa got a job. Then he went to Middle East, worked hard, and after that he came to Mumbai to start on his business. In the meantime, Arjun was selling his properties to close the debts, to pay for the medical expenses, and finally reached a point where he had a few properties but no income to run his family and look after his ailing mother. After listening to the story, I was not sure what to say to Mustafa. But I know one thing. There is a Mustafa and Arjun sitting in this room. Arjun is thinking, everything lasts forever. The money, the fame, the pleasure. Whereas Mustafa is thinking, nothing lasts forever. Ladies and gentlemen, life gives us a lot of choices. Just because you are born rich, not necessarily you will die rich. Just because you are born poor, not necessarily you will die poor. The interesting quote which literally changed many people's life was this. Tough time creates strong people. Strong people create good times. Good times create weak people. And weak people create bad times. When you're born poor, it's not your mistake. But if you die poor, it is your mistake. Toastmaster.
Again, one positive point, one point for improvement, whatever you can think of, and do that. A very spirited story, particularly the evening spirits. Friends, we are coming now to a very interesting situation. I invite the presiding officer to initiate the special event of the day.
Now I request our area director, Toastmaster Saravanan, to conduct the session, Moments of Truth.
Thank you. Just a minute, let me sit up. Good evening, Medley. Good evening. How are you all doing? Good? Nice. Today is a special day. Why? Moments of Truth. Today is Break the Monotony Day. If you feel monotonous in Medley meetings, the power is in your hands. Okay? So you all got Moments of Truth with you. Just open that and read that, and we will talk about that. So if there is any monotony, this is the day, and the power is in your hands. Well, what is Moments of Truth? Anybody?
Self-realization.
Self-realization.
I mean, exposed by others. Right?
Yeah, nice.
Good dogs on
Excellent. Anybody else?
For improvement sake.
For improvement. Nice. So let us see what the Toastmasters say. A moment of truth is an episode where a person comes in contact with any aspect of Toastmasters experience and forms an impression of a club's quality and service. What is quality?
fitness for the purpose.
Fitness.
For
Yeah.
the purpose.
For purpose. Yeah, good.
Making customer expectations.
Customer experiences. expectations. Yeah, good. Fine. Anybody else?
Perfection.
Perfection. Yeah, nice. Quality is something that we do even when nobody is looking at it. That was told by Henry Ford. So that is one of the important sayings, where quality has to come in within us. It has to be inbuilt within us. Conducting the program, how it will help us? Conducting the program will help you sustain a quality club and deliver the best possible member experience. Sustain a quality club, that is very important. And that is where we will be going through this exercise. Clubs that embrace and use the moments of truth better enable their members to accomplish their goals. So everybody joins Toastmasters for accomplishing certain goals. Whether it is short-term goal or long-term goal, you are joining here for a reason. And if Toastmasters helps us with that, that is the success of Toastmasters. And during the presiding officer speech, she mentioned about how Toastmasters transformed her. Right? So it is a platform which helps us to grow, learn, as well as transform ourselves. And this is the moment of truth that we are going to look at. In turn, enables the club to accomplish its goals for the DCP. What is DCP? Distinguished Club Program. Very good. That's the pinnacle of success with respect to Toastmasters. Well, we will be going through 6 different aspects. So it will be having 2 things. One is an objective and others is standards with respect to Toastmasters. Okay? So you have a handout. Everybody have a handout, right? Okay, good. Those who don't have any the handout? Anybody who doesn't have the handout? Okay. So if everybody has that, that's fine. And you have got a number also, right? When you came, I gave a number also, right? You all got that. If there is some red color number, who all got red color numbers? Don't be alarmed. It is turned. I mean, it is from a calendar. Okay. So Saturdays, Sundays are always red in color. There is no particular reason for that. So you got all these steps. Okay. Now we will do a small exercise. What we will do? We have to divide the group into 6. Okay. So we are all same. We are all one, but we have to divide ourselves by 6 for this particular exercise. So I counted at that point of time it was 27. So I cannot divide everything by 6. Okay. But at least 4 in a group and 5 in some groups. Okay. So 1 to 5. Who all have 1 to 5 number? Please come and occupy this 6. 1 to 5. 6 to 10 there. 11 to 15 there. 16 to 20, 20 to 25, 26 to 30. 31, you can join 30. Because it may be from July, okay? 16, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6 to 10, please come here.
1 to 5, 15. And 5. Okay, we got the number. Okay, right. Oh, yeah, technically. 6 or 9. 6 or 9. Okay, but whatever it is, same group, right?
Where's 29?
29, that last. You have to sit in the same seat, I guess. Yeah, 30 up to 30, 31. 26 to 31. Yeah, 26 to 31. 15, yeah. No, 15 there. 15, yeah, 15 there.
Number 8, please raise your hand.
Only 4 are here.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. So 4 or 5 can be in a group. Okay. So you are 3 here, right? Yeah, you are 3 there. And then how many are left out? How many are left out? Yeah, you can join with somebody else. Okay, so one person can come here.
14 minus 14. Sorry, okay, no problem.
No, 14, 15, 16 are all there. Yeah. Okay. Why are you standing? Why are you sitting there? Like, I mean, nobody will copy yours. Because everybody will have the same, you will have different numbers. You can come closer. You can come closer. Okay. So the important thing is, do we have 6 groups? That's the important thing. 1, 2, yeah, 3, 4, 5, and 6, right? They're all 6. Maximum 5 in there. Oh, okay. Good. So minus 1.5. Mine is more powerful like this. Okay, fine. So you have got all the 6 groups, right? You all settled down, right? Okay, fine, good. So the first group will be doing this exercise. First impressions. First impression is always the best impression. Everybody believes that, right? Yeah. Whether it is in marriage or love at first sight, everything is first impression. That is more important. So just go through this. The first group. Please. Yeah, go through this. Okay. So you have to, what you have to do here is, you have to come up with, excuse me, please listen. Yeah. So what you have to do here is, the first group will be doing this exercise, first impressions, and they will be marking everything against those standards. So you have 2 things, objectives and standards. Your objective is this: discuss what guests first experience and observe when visiting the club and whether or not these impressions encourage them to return. Okay? So you will have 3 plus 3, 6 standards. You have to mark between 1 to 5 or against those standards, 1 being the least and 5 being the highest. Okay? And if at all there is one or 2 things which is 3 or below, you have to come up with recommendations. And then you have to talk about that recommendation. Okay? Clear about this first? The second group, you will be taking up this membership orientation. Okay? You will be only concentrating on membership orientation. You will be only concentrating on first impressions. Okay? So you will be doing this exercise. And then this is your objective. Against this objective, what are the standards? 1 to 5. And if there are anything that is less than 3 or 3, you have to talk about that. Coming up with the recommendation. Your rating as well as recommendation is more important. Group number 3. You will be going ahead and doing this exercise. Program planning and meeting organization. And your objective is judge whether or not club meetings are carefully planned with well-prepared speakers and useful evaluations. You will be rating the standards here. Group number 4. For you 3, membership strength. The objective is this: discuss whether the club's number of members is not only sufficient to provide leadership but also to fill meeting and, excuse me, please. Yeah, let me complete this and you will be given some time also. You will be given 10 minutes of time once I complete this. Just a minute. Let me complete this exercise and then you can start your discussions. It is brainstorming only, but please wait for till I give a go. So the group, 4th group will be doing this membership strength. This is your objective. Against this standards, you will be marking. And then group 5, achievement recognition. So group 5, yeah, good. So group 5, this is your objective. Evaluate the club's performance regarding the tracking of each member's educational progress, immediate subscription of complete applications, and consistent recognition of achievements. Against these standards, you have to mark. And then, if you have any questions, there is a best practice also in page number 5 and 6. Just go through that as well. 4 and 5, I guess. Just do that as well. That is the best practice. That is the pinnacle of success for any club to have. Okay? You have to stand up and clap. Okay. So that, it is already there. So you just have to go there and then see what is the best practice out there. Okay? And if the recommendation matches that, you are good. Or otherwise, you can come up with your own recommendation and come here and talk about that. Okay? Last group. Yeah. You have questions? Yeah, fine, good. Fine. So this is achievement recognition.
The fellowship variety.
Fellowship variety and publication. Yeah, you take that. I think I missed that. You take that fellowship variety and communication. Yeah, right. So now your time slots now. You will be given 10 minutes of time. 10 minutes of time. Okay. So you can brainstorm within that 10 minutes of time, and you can come up with this. Okay. Yeah, please.
Relevant to our experience in Medley.
Yes.
And numbering, taking the average of our group.
Yes, that's correct.
Individually. We are agreeing for one another.
Yeah, that's the point. Yeah. Right. So the point here is, excuse me, sorry. One more thing. You will be given grace time also. Okay. Just wait a minute. Okay. Sir, excuse me, sir. One thing. So you have to agree on some common number. Okay, within a group, and then see like, okay, within group one rating. Okay, for a particular standard. Clear, right? Anybody have any questions? Time is 4 o'clock, 4:10 is the time. I will include it.
Yes.
one more minute. One more minute. Last minute. Excuse me. You're done, right? Excuse me. Excuse me. Yeah, we are done. We are done. So we'll start with number 1, right? Excuse me. We are done. So turn your chairs back, please. Turn your chairs back, please. Excuse me. Sir. You want extra minutes, sir? Extra paper? So many challenges. Yeah, right, exactly. Excuse me, thank you all. So let us start with the number 1, okay? First impressions. Does our club meet the standards? Very passionate. First impressions. Lasting impressions. Okay, fine. So do you have any rating that is 3 or less than 10? Okay, fine. So let us talk about that. What is the rating? Why the rating is 3 or less? Okay, and then we will discuss about the recommendations. And I would request the secretary to note down this rating and recommendations. And once you are completed with this, please share the final score sheet to Toastmaster Anuradha, so that she can take that up and then mark the final ratings and share it with all of you before the next meeting. Okay. Yeah, please.
Yeah, so our first recommendation is guests greeted warmly and introduced to officers and members. This means when guest comes before the meeting, the service downs or any club officer should introduce to the VPM or VPE, so that they'll understand entire process about Toastmasters or entire roles and responsibilities about Toastmasters, so that they can try and join. So that's the first thing. So we have rated 3, and second one is guest book and name tags provided. So this again the third terms has to be taken care. Guest book has to be put in the front. So which our recommendation is hereafter guest book is not required because we have to make it digital. So we are going to make it QR code. Previously we have to re-establish. So once we have the QR code should be leading to the Google form where we have to get the phone number, email ID, their name and interest, why they have come to Medley, what is the reason. So based on this, we can understand how can we approach to them so that they will become a member, right? That's the motivation of having this guest book. And these are our 2 recommendations. Rest of the things, professionally arranged meeting room, 5 convenient meeting location, 5 guests invited to address the club, presiding officers doing without missing every meeting, 5 guests invited to join, 5. Right. So this is our presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Fine. Do any of you have any more recommendations for these couple of points? If no, we will move on to the next one. So the next one, membership orientation.
It's nothing less than.
Yes, sure.
What will it section including presentation of membership pin and manuals, we had a score of 4. Though we don't have the practice of pin and physical manual, and this will be soft copy available, still members felt we should have a checklist where we highlight to them that these are things that they should know, and members should also have a checklist that these are things that they should be aware of when they start their Toastmasters journey. So because of that, we had a score of 4. For assignment of mentor, 5. Education programs and recognition system discussed, 5. For learning needs assessed, it was 4. Members felt they still were not able to communicate their learning needs, and we also did proactively ask about that. Discussed accommodation for members with disabilities, 5. Speaking roles assigned, 5. Members involved in all aspects of club activities, 4. They didn't know what are activities to be involved in. So because of the lack of awareness, they felt they were not being involved in the club activities.
Any other suggestions or recommendations or anything?
Checklist. There's a checklist is a big solution.
Yeah.
So members should play, sorry if I'm talking, but members should clearly know what they expect of the club. Because I have no clue that these are the, of course there's sight and all that, but I should know whether I'm running behind the race, all that. So I should have a checklist.
Got it. Yeah. So that is one more.
This running behind the race is slightly complicated again because individuals go at their own pace. So there is no comparison between individuals. So you give your goals and timelines, discussing with your mentor, to the VPE. So in this term, 6 months or 1 year, I want to do so many speeches, do these roles like this. We try to fit it into that software so that you get the slots. So going behind the race is only by yourself, not by comparing with something else.
Okay, I do agree. The point is sometimes, because of, lesson priority sometimes, we are not fully understand Toastmasters significance. So some sort of push is required. You see, this is how the club normally does, but you are sort of running behind. This is not the normal. So sort of, push and pull.
Yeah,
I understood his point. Each person sets the pace, but I don't
Yeah,
think
mentors are for this also.
you're not mature enough to understand, that mature means in the context of not knowing.
Definitely. Sure. Your thoughts are appreciated. Thank you for your sharing your thoughts. So then next, yeah.
I have one point will fit in this one. You please clarify as
sure.
director. The education modules are excellent.
Right.
We have awareness is great. Before the contest, all the members must be aware of what is a contest, what is the participation, who all can compete. Because senior Toastmasters, seasoned people, we all know.
Right.
But new members also must have the awareness, then only they will come here.
Right.
So somewhere can you fit some educational modules focusing on contest before the contest?
Yes. Actually, there are clubs that are already doing that. Definitely, that is something that is recommended also. Whether it is humorous speech or evaluation contest, and what is the criteria and everything. And one more important thing here is the judges training program. That will give a clear indication of what are the parameters that the judges will look at. So that will be useful for the judges as well as the candidates also. And if you are interested, there is one more that is happening this weekend, and I can share that again. So please go and attend that judges training program. You will get a clear indication of what the entire contest looks like. And then there is a mock contest as well as drill and evaluation also being done in the same program itself. So that will give a good indication of the entire spectrum of contest itself.
Whether new
Everybody,
members
anybody
also can go and get the awareness.
Exactly.
Excellent. Yes. Address.
Sure. So let us move to the next one, fellowship, variety and communication. I think the last group here. So do you have anything 3 or 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there are 3 line items which is falling 3 and below.
Okay, fine. So you can take your time, please.
I'll finish it short. So first one is on the regularly scheduled social events. So we are at a team of 6 over there where witnessed not much of social events in last 6 months, maybe 1. So we need to know what are the period or the time frame to have these events scheduled, or what is the it's all new for me actually, I'd say.
1 or 2 6 months is okay.
Okay, so
no, she's asking what is called social events.
What in social events I know. For Toastmasters, what is the time?
Toastmasters.
Yeah.
So that is one thing that is new over here, where we discover only through these, because we are new over Toastmasters. And not only this one, there are other things also there in Toastmasters which came to know to us only through these line items. That is the inter-club events getting encouraged. So does inter-club events happen? So that also we are not aware. And I got one information from one of my team members that there was one event that happened, but we can consider into this group, but actually doesn't fall. So there are certain things that can be there in Toastmasters which we are not witnessed in last 6 months. And next is on the club newsletter and website. Website we are seeing it's getting published, and when I'm using up with my friends, see these are the things that is there happening in the Toastmasters. But club newsletter, we were not aware of the group that we formed. So if at all is there or any information on that, you can let us know. Because even the ones who were in 6 months, they were not also witnessed any newsletter in the past 6 months.
Who is the DPP or no?
So that.
Can you answer this?
Fine, on the club newsletter. I mean, if you have any plans, you can let us know. Or otherwise, what district is now recommending is rather going for a newsletter, they are going for a one-pager. Because newsletter, what happens here is it comes like 10 pages, 20 pages, 30 pages. Not everybody looks at that. So they are looking at one pages, and they will be giving some direction also on that. So that will be something that will be useful to recognize the achievements that you have already.
It's a very good idea, because a lot of people are confusing magazine with newsletter and making bulky magazines, and it was taking a long time to compile the whole.
Correct, exactly. So somebody used to tell like, okay, last year also I gave the same thing, today also I gave the same thing, but nobody came back and told me that why I have given the last one. Okay, that is something like that has happened also. But now the recommendation is one page, so that everybody will be aware what is happening. Okay, on the special events and all, and inter-club events, definitely there are plans, in the sense like maybe XCOM can talk about that, but the district also recommends that. So for example, the buddy club events, outside events, special events, all those things that are being encouraged, that is also part of the Hall of Fame documents as well. So if you are interested, like you can talk about that, or like XCOM can take it as part of recommendation and then can share those informations to the team, so that everybody who has joined newly or who has been in the Toastmaster for quite some time will know about what is the plan with respect to these areas.
Thank you. I just want to finish it with
Yeah,
the good
please.
ones too, because this is why I am coming again and again to Toastmasters. This is on the guest greeted warmly and made awesome and enjoyable and educational meeting plan, as well membership participate in area, district and international events, which is being shared in our sessions on every Saturday. So those were the things from our team.
Thank you.
So can you explain what is called inter-club events?
Actually, I mean, anybody want to clarify that? Inter-club events,
As a part of the Hall of Fame, as well as for our own clubs, in variety, we are planning a few inter-club events. One such is the Icebreaker Marathon, where the district is organizing it. Members from all the clubs who have new members, they join together to have Icebreaker Marathon. Apart from that, we also have a buddy club event planned. These will take the club, and even area contests, division contests. They will also be a place where many people, members from various clubs come together and work to help in organization and networking. So those will be the opportunities for inter-club events. Coming to the social events, we have not been having it recently. We were blaming COVID, but now we are out of COVID. So we will start having it. We are planning something for Diwali special meeting. Many such team meetings we are planning, but the most important thing is we want members active participation, because these are like going out of the way and organizing. So for each event we plan to have one member in charge. Like if it's Diwali team meeting, we have a team meeting in charge, and that member will help in organizing. So we need member support also to ensure that this happens at a regular interval. Yes, and for newsletter, we have one plan for a milestone meeting which is coming up now. Regarding the subsequent newsletters, we think about it.
Yeah, that's correct. So thank you for sharing your thoughts, but the member participation as well as the collaboration is also needed, so that the XCOM also will be in a position to plan more such events. Okay, thank you for that. And let us go quickly. Already the green card is up. The next one is program planning and meeting organization. Right. You can put it down. Yeah, I have seen that. Thanks. Yeah.
meeting planning organization. Anything 3 or less?
Yeah, one point which we have evaluated as 3. It is positive or helpful evaluations. So mostly what I have experienced is that the evaluation and the feedback is helpful and it is encouraging. Even Toastmaster Anuradha mentioned last week that Toastmaster Rajesh took the evaluation seriously and he gave a very good speech last week, for which he won the best speaker. It is helping the speakers in enhancing them and developing them. But few instances what I have noticed is when a speaker is giving the icebreaker on the first speech, the feedback was quite harsh on the stage. So in case if it is harsh, I would recommend, of course the feedback matters a lot. Beginners, it should be done in a different way. It can happen in private or it can happen during the snacks time. It should encourage them to come forward rather than stopping them to participate in the Toastmasters. But apart from that, this is what I have faced it.
Thank you very much. Excellent point. So the purpose of evaluation is to make the role player come back again. Right? So that is more important, and that is in the hands of everybody who is being part of Toastmasters. Membership strength. Anything less than 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
So overall the score is good, 73%, but still we have 3 line items where we heard 3 and below. So promotion of club in the community or within its organization, this is a 3. This has to be improved either by all the members by word of mouth within their circle, and also more social media publicity is encouraged. And Toastmasters sponsoring new members recognized, so this is not happening, this is not practiced. New members can recognize the sponsors during their enrollment, or this can be recognized by the vice president or by the ex-con.
Sorry, that is about member induction.
Yeah.
Induction is happening.
Toastmasters
Not
sponsoring,
induction.
sponsoring
The sponsorship of a new member. Even I mentioned a couple of weeks back. It is unnecessarily missed because somebody will get credit, nobody is getting credit.
Yeah. So this has to be told during their enrollment. And the club programs, variety and exciting. So this is also at the score 3. So this, though we have a different variety of events, so we still can improve this interaction by having more debate and panel discussion and quiz programs involving more and more new members rather than the experienced members. So we have the right
Actually, the Toastmasters sponsoring new members is important. But at the same time, when the new members are joining, there will be a form that will be given to them. In that, we can always mention about who is the sponsor and all. So that when we are entering that details in the Toastmasters International site, we can credit the sponsor also.
Yeah, it will show the profile of the
Exactly.
sponsor.
Correct.
There is a vice president membership there in the committee.
Toastmaster Pravda.
Is there a vice president membership in the committee?
Yes.
That comes under him.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, if anybody comes directly by seeing the Toastmaster website or club website, the credit goes to the VP membership. But if one member brings his friend or colleague and makes him a member, that credit goes to that individual member.
VP membership or VPPR?
Membership VP is
from the
here.
website. From the
Membership
website.
VP is here. Anybody?
Yeah, membership, VP membership is also here, VPE also here.
Who is that?
VPE is Prasanna Vani.
Yeah,
and
Madam Toastmaster Prasanna Vani.
You only told it about that.
No.
With you.
Membership.
No. What is your opinion about the membership? Now they are discussing about.
No, actually, membership is close to Pravda.
You are the membership, right? So how is this confusion?
No.
VP Education and VP
No,
membership.
I asked membership.
Membership, she is the membership.
VP membership. And you are dealing with the members or you are inducting members, new member gives you application. Before coming a new member has to attend minimum 3 meetings. Are you following all these?
Is it compulsory?
Yeah, no, actually that is being followed, yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
bylaws,
following
we
that,
are
yeah.
following the bylaws.
No, bylaws are only to be read and when the dispute comes. I am asking whether are you doing the same thing or not?
3 to 4 meetings they are attending. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
no, might
We are
not
following
understand.
that.
Just I want people to might not understand. That's why I'm asking.
Yes, sir.
Maximum 4 meetings are allowed, sir, for a
3 meetings they should attend. They should attend means they should attend and go there. They should attend fully.
Yes, sir.
And see the meeting how it goes. They should get convinced of your progress. And then for meeting you can induct. And when you induct, before that you have to explain to them what the other thing.
Yes.
And you have to induct.
Yes, sir.
Not the president. You have to induct the member here.
We did it, sir, 2 weeks before we had the induction.
Induction
Yeah.
ceremony.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Our district is encouraging one of the messages of people who are inducting in 5 members in a particular period, they are given.
Correct, yeah.
So our district is also is
Exactly. That's correct. So we move on to the last one. That is achievement recognition. Anything less than 3 or 3?
Only 1 point of
Yeah.
3.
So we are already on red, I guess. So let us try to wrap it up.
So we are all aware that lots of recognitions and awards are there, and everything is channelized, and now we have a small team who is taking care. Only thing is progress charts display and maintain. It should be done. It should be known to all members, or because ExComs are aware of that. If it should be known to all members, then periodically we need to.
Actually, there is a recommendation now.
Okay.
So there is during the last AD visit, we might have seen something that is pasted on
Yes.
the speaker.
Madam, can I ask you some few questions?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you got a subcommittee?
Yes.
They are here?
Yeah, the 2 people who are helping you.
See, the man. Why
Among
I
the
am
ExComs
asking this
only we are
question?
helping.
Why I am asking this
Subcommittee is
question
there, that's all.
is to streamline your operation.
Yes.
Don't take any.
We have a subcommittee.
And
Members are not
subcommittee is
here.
meeting before the new members. Subcommittee's job is to bring new members.
Okay.
By any method, through their friends, through newspaper, through media, any method, they have to bring new members. And in case they can even say that you just come and see the club for 3 days, 3 meetings. If you don't like, you can safely go back.
That is done by almost all the members.
Yeah. No,
I have
almost
a
all
small
the-
addition. See,
Then
the
what is the
progress
subcommittee
chart,
is focusing on
it has
your-
been raised time and again. Probably every week, along with the minutes of the meeting, the updated progress chart can be attached. And the mentors have to be told to look into that and help their wards. This is a suggestion.
We can add that as a recommendation, but I leave it to the ExCom to ratify that and verify that and then see how much is possible.
You can share it in an Excel file and share with the members.
Yes.
Google Sheets.
Once in a
Actually, EC Speak has got that, all those things,
Yes.
right? So we can take a report and then we can publish it on a weekly manner or monthly manner.
Yes.
So that the teams also will be able to recognize what others have done. Okay. Anything else?
Nothing else.
Okay, fine. Thank you. And then with this, we have come to the end of the MOT session. And thank you for all your rating as well as recommendations. And everybody Toastmaster Anuradha has noted down everything. Okay. And you can see those reports in the coming weeks as such. And thank you for this opportunity. And I hand it over to the Presiding Officer.
Thank you for coming to the session of Toastmaster. Now I request our TMoD, DTM Sampath sir, in the role of gratitude. Yes. Now over to TM.
Please take your seat. See, in connection with the theme, I want to remind you of one very important aspect. How you get the thing internalized. There is an easy method to do the routine process of preparing speeches, which we don't systematically follow. It is redrafting and rehearsing. I am not talking about memorizing. Redrafting and rehearsing. I have separate training program for that. I believe we have to do at least 6-7 redrafting after the first script is written. Stage by stage, taking care of several aspects. Through the process, the ideas will start entering your system. And then you rehearse also by a special method which I recommend. Again, it gets into the system. By the time you come here to deliver your speech, you are believing what you are saying. You are speaking from the heart. It is not a very difficult thing. You are going to do one speech, let us say, in 6 weeks or 8 weeks. During that time only you are going to do it. Next week maybe after some time. So you have to do this. This will help. So now the next program we are having in our educational session is a table topic session. Confucius told, I didn't tell, Confucius told, if you are the smartest person in the room, you are in the wrong room. When I told this in a meeting, Sergeant at Arms, be alert. When I told this in a meeting, many people got up and went out. But there is a person who will help us to find who is the smartest person in this room. That person is the table topic master. Today's table topic master is Toastmaster Rekha, working as an advisor in MNC Bentley Systems, and her belief is life is beautiful. I can't agree more. Not that I am perfect, but I put my heart into whatever I am doing. A great thought. We will all try to do the same thing. Toastmaster Rekha will quiz us now with her own questions.
Good evening, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. The purpose of the topic master is to facilitate the table topics where members and guests will have an opportunity to practice the impromptu or a spontaneous speaking. So I will introduce the speaker and as well as the topic, who will be given 2 minutes to talk on the topic. I believe at this point in time, let me reiterate the timings for this table topics. At the end of 1 minute, the timer will be showing the green card. At the end of 1 minute and 30 seconds, the timer will show the yellow card. At the end of 2 minutes, the timer will show the red card. Now coming to the theme of the topic today, this is saying is believing. I feel if we remember, it is not about the words that we speak. It's all about the beliefs that we foster through them. So with that, I welcome every one of you to open up yourself and speak. Let's all together unravel the excellent difference or excellent relationship between the saying and believing. With that, let me welcome the first table topic person today I have in my list is Mr. Venkatesan. Toastmaster Mr. Venkatesan. Gratitude practice. What are you grateful for today? Toastmaster Venkatesan. Gratitude practice. What are you grateful for today or in your life in general?
Yeah, gratitude is appreciation, either there. Gratitude. First, gratitude for my parents, mother and father, and my sisters. The second gratitude where I studied in school, elementary school, primary school, as secondary school. The third gratitude from the college. The fourth gratitude where I have completed my postgraduate. The fifth gratitude of mine is more than 3 decades I am working as a domain expert in the same company. And life is full of gratitude only. If you have a gratitude, you don't have any negative feelings in your life. Or success or failure, it is common. It's like a graph. You may go up and you may come down also. But you should have a balance. How to tackle it, how to face the problem. Whenever success comes, do not jump over it. Anytime you can fall also. That is my principle. Till now I am following it up. That is why I am leading my life.
really a nice way of expressing your gratitude. Thank you for that. Let me now welcome Toastmaster Sundaresan. The topic is empathy in leadership. How empathy impacts in leadership. Toastmaster Sundaresan.
Thank you. Empathy in leadership. I cannot separate these empathy and leadership, different words or a different thing. It has to be together. It has to be, from my perspective, it is same one or other thing. It is a one thing. So, what do you mean by leader? What is mean by leadership? Leader is something who will grow and who will ensure that others are also growing. When he wanted to grow others also along with him, then definitely the first thing which comes in our mind is empathy. At any situations, if there is a saying from Abdul Kalam, if you are wanted to appreciate my positives, go and talk. Come and go and talk in a crowd. If you wanted to come, give about a feedback or a negative thing, you just come and talk to me, because I'm the only person I'll be knowing most about me. I'm the only person I know best out of me, right? So if you take these as a points, definitely, if you are a good person, if you wanted to go as a leader, anything in your life, the empathy is the first point we need to consider. And anything, before judging anybody in a life, first we need to put our legs in their shoes. We need to understand what actually the situation, what is the outcome. If you follow such things, definitely everyone become a good leader. Thank you. Thank you for that.
It had resonated very well to many of your point of views on empathy and leadership can't be separated. So with that, let me welcome TM Suhail. Work-life balance. What is your advice for work-life balance in the today's post-COVID scenario? TM Suhail.
Thank you so much for the topic, favorite topic, Master. Work-life balance, I'm the right person to say right now because I was having some professional challenges in the life for the past 1 month. I was very much stressed up and I was having a very tough time in my personal life as well. It is impacting my personal life a lot. So my parents, my wife used to say, okay, whatever happens, just think positive. Don't make sure that whatever the challenges which we have in the professional life, it impacts our personal life. But I'm not able to take my mind out of it. When I eat, the issues coming into my mind. When I go out, issues coming into my mind. But what I can do, what I can do to take me out of that issue, then rightly mentioned by Toastmaster accreditation, gratitude. It helps us to find out what are the true blessings which we have in our life. I started to find out what are the blessings which I have in my life. Starting from, I'm alive first, I'm breathing now, I'm standing up, I'm speaking in front of everyone. That is the greatest blessing. I'm having a roof on my top, I'm having a car, I'm healthy. So that is the best thing which, gratitude is something which I practice a lot to take me out of that issue. And to maintain a balanced work-life balance, we have to plan our day. We have to start. My parents used to say, start your day early, so that we can wind up early and we have some positive time with our family. We can spend some time for our health and diets. So planning the day and issues comes up in the professional life. We can't plan it. From nowhere it comes all of a sudden. But we have to make sure that we have to tackle that. Gratitude and think everything in a positive way. All the challenges which we are facing, somewhere or other it is taking us up. Facing the challenges we come up in the life. So yeah.
So a very important takeaway from Suhail: plan the day to stay productive. I can't agree more than that. So with that, let me welcome TM Suresh. Your topic, productivity hack. Share a tip or a trick to stay productive.
Productivity hacks. I personally don't have any of my own tips or any tricks for productivity hacks, but lately I assume all of you use Instagram, Facebook over here. Right? Okay, alright. So some of the productivity hacks that like I don't use much of them, but I have used small amount of them. Like one of them was it's an app called Forest. Like, have you heard of it?
Yes.
Yeah, like you need to name and schedule whatever task you have to do for the day, and you can set the timer for like 20 minutes maybe. I have done with it like for the past months. I used to have project meetings and stuff. I used to use this technique for that, and it worked pretty well for me. So this is one of the productivity hacks, and it is actually kind of productive too when you're focusing. It's like a really tough job. You want to get into the flow of it. It really helps you. Like all of you heard of this term called flow state, right? Flow state. It's like the state when you're really into the work and the surroundings. There's nothing that happening in the surrounding to distract you. So that is one of the main productivity hacks that I think everyone should master. Thank you.
Much appreciated, Suresh, for those apps and that recommendation for productivity. Thank you for that. With that, let me welcome TM Shanmugave. Your topic, healthy habits. Can you name one or two healthy habits that you had introduced in your daily routine?
Yes, repeat the topic 2 times total. One more time.
Healthy habit. Can you name one or two healthy habits that you had introduced in your daily routine? TM Shanmugave.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Healthy habit is very, very important to everybody in our day-to-day life. What I am following in my life is, first mornings I will go to the yoga. The yoga, what I have practiced, the yoga gives very good mental balance as well as physical stability. But most of the people, we think that yoga only for the soft people only. But I am an interested person to do the exercise, hard exercise like that, running in the yoga time, in the COVID time, we are having the playground in our CLRA. In about 2 hours, I am used to run. Because that time we have lot of time. Most of the offices are closed. So morning and the evening I used to go. But when I have gone to the yoga, I have got a lot of satisfaction. Because those who are the working personnel, they can concentrate on their life, work, same time they can keep their physical fitness. Another one is, I am regularly practicing the evening walking. These are the main things which I am following for my physical fitness. Thank you.
Thank you so much for keeping it to the point on mentioning the importance of yoga and walking. Thank you for that. So let me welcome guest Ranjit Kumar. Your topic, in-person versus virtual. Which one is better? Why? The topic is in-person versus virtual. Which one is better? Why? Guest Ranjit Kumar.
In-person versus virtual. I would like to narrate my own experience past 5 to 6 months. I was attending many MBA interviews. Some of them are personal interviews, some of them are virtual interviews. In those personal interviews, I was able to relate better with the interviewer. When the person is asking questions, I was able to meet with good eye contacts, able to answer better. But in virtual interviews, there may be some technical glitches, some other problems. If there are 2 interviewers, some person may not be giving due attention to the candidates. So I feel in-person is somewhat better compared to the virtual, but with the technology arising like metaverse, we can integrate something into our day-to-day life and to make it more better, and we can keep it forward. And apart from interviews, when it comes to meetings or socializing, I feel there is nothing it can compensate for personal in-person meetings. So I think I can put forward for in-person.
I also vouch for that in person, if you can agree with that, as it's having a lot of benefits in terms of a face-to-face value that we establish with the people that we meet. Let me welcome TM Bharat. Your topic, learning new skills. Are you learning any new skills? If yes, why you have chosen the skills? Learning new skills. Are you learning any new skills? If you are learning a skill, why that skill? TM Bharat.
Yeah, I believe learning is for lifelong, and learning a new skill, what can be a better example than me joining the Toastmaster Club, just to learn the skill of public speaking, communication, and also networking with my colleagues and peers sitting over here. So that is an initiative which I've just started, and not only to that, and learning a new skill is something which I also want my kids to follow. So each and every day we spend time with my kids so that they learn something new, or to reiterate or relearn what they have done. And not only that, so that is a culture which we also wanted to follow in the organization, and where we say upskill programs, where we conduct upskill programs, where we encourage employees to to skill up, to broaden their horizons, and to increase their verticals. So these are the lot of programs which I personally initiated and personally vouched for, so that learning, as I believe, learning is going to be a lifelong process, and we need to be in that process to learn and explore the world better. Thank you.
Yes, Toastmasters are some of the ways. I also feel that a skill that can be not missed in our lifetime. Thank you for that. So let me welcome TM Kalyani. Your topic, parenting style. Discuss any one of your parenting style that impact your child development. The topic is parenting style. Discuss any one of your parenting style that impacts the child development. TM Kalyani.
Thank you for a very nice topic, parenting style. As a working women, I had faced this problem when my kid was to bring him up. Because in the first initial, after 5 months I was able to take my leave, and after that I had to depend on a crush, and it was really tough to control his cries or whatever he wants, I had to give him at the time. So good parenting emotes, we have to give them the needs. At the same time, we have to make sure that he understands the value of it. Like he should not make totally dependent on it like that. Like we should not give it immediately. We have to give it, but we have to make sure that he understands value. That I have found him in the childhood sense. At childhood, we will be able to give him whatever he needs. But later stage, it may be difficult. So we have to make sure that we have to give him, at the same time, we have to give our time also. And we have to, and the final thing is, we have to make sure that the kid is grown to a good, he knows the moral values, and he's being developed with moral values.
Thank you so much. That had made me to think, somewhere I had read, if a child is coming into your life, it is not a time for you to teach, it is a time for you to learn. Thank you, Ms. Kalyani, Team Kalyani, for that. With that, let me welcome TM Sintana. Your topic, plastic pollution. What is your part to preserve the ecosystem in terms of reducing the plastic waste? So the topic is plastic pollution. What's your part in preserving the ecosystem to reduce the plastic waste? TM Sintana.
Good afternoon all. So plastic pollution. So I'm very much fond of this topic as well. I personally, at least in my home, we don't use much plastic bags. We always go to the shop with bags, and wherever possible, we used to get everything in whatever containers we had. So even to the shops, we prefer going to organic shops like Restore, where they don't recommend using plastic bags. So this is one of the main thing which we have started recently, and it is helping us. And we also make our children also practice this, so they don't also use much plastic things in their daily activities. And whenever we go home or whenever we go to our farms, wherever we go, so wherever there are any garbages or any plastic, anything is being laid down, we just pick it up, and we ask our kids also to pick it up and put it in the dustbin. So by this, we always try to, not only we practice, we also try to educate our kids by telling what is the damage that plastic is causing to all the animals, to all the people, and to the complete planet. So by this, we should not only we should educate the people or educate the kids and encourage them so that the future generation and the future planet is good.
Thank you. I think she is leading as an example for her own kids in terms of preserving the ecosystem. Hats off for that. With that, let me welcome TM Balasubramanian. Your topic, saving strategy. Can you name one or two saving strategy?
Any saving?
Any savings, fund, investment, anything for
See,
that?
today, what I learned, money can be earned in the market economy if you have the skill. Money is not a constraint for the right candidate. Time is something which has to be saved, preserved, and delivered. Otherwise, we are in pain. So, financial investments, savings are important, but I like to add one thing as a finance man. It's not only important to save money, but invest that money. Saving the money in savings bank account means nothing. It's a dead money. You need to either invest in stock market for risk appetite, or invest in debt instruments, or you have to invest in real estate and something which is, or some invest in a business if you're sure. That's one on the financial. On the time, invest your time. Time served should be, again, when I say save is an inadequate word. Saving has to be invested. If you save time and you sleep, it doesn't mean anything. When you save time from a mundane job of doing a harmful job, invest it in doing productive activities, which means either reskill yourself or spend quality time with your family or think. And in my opinion, thinking, constant thinking of the priorities before us, the goals before us, that enriches our thought process. And very important today, we need to know the direction which you're going. The pace is not in our control. It's like traveling on a road. We don't know the vehicles ahead. We don't know the vehicles behind, but we need to know the direction. Direction is more important. So finally, saving is both for time and money. More important, time, and of course money. And both saved should be invested productively. And that's my recipe for success. Thank you.
Thank you for your profound insights, sir. With that, now a request to timer. Could you please announce the time qualified table topic speakers for today?
All speakers are qualified.
Thank you. So,
Read the names.
can you read the names?
TM Vijayarajan, Sundaresan, TM Suresh, TM Sampath, and G. Ranjit Kumar, TM Bharat, TM Kalyani, TM Sintana, TM Balan Subramanian.
Okay, thank you. So now the request to all of you, kindly validate and vote for the best TT speaker. With that, let me thank Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests for this wonderful opportunity to interact. Thank you.
Well done, table topic master, provide variety of topics. That reminds me also to ask for qualified, prepared speakers.
All three speakers are qualified, and
Toastmasters, Praveena, Pravda, and
Pravda.
DTM Alex.
All are qualified.
Okay. So you can decide whom you are going to vote. When the paper comes or the Google form comes, you can do it. There's a very famous saying, feedback is the dinner of general evaluators. Where is our general evaluator? He is a hungry man waiting for his dinner. Toastmaster Vijayarajan.
Good evening, Toastmasters and my dear guests, once again. Today, so far, all the sections exactly on the same time as in the agenda went, but now I am coming, 5 minutes delay. So let me jump into the speakers, evaluators. Let me call upon the evaluators immediately. First, in order to evaluate Toastmasters Praveena's speech, let me invite Toastmaster Sundaresan Subramanian. When I asked him about the theme of the day, he said, more than saying, listening is very, very important. First, let me listen to the theme of the day, then I will tell you the opinion. So, after the meeting, I think he'll be giving the opinion about theme of the day. He's a passionate Toastmasters for more than 21 years. For almost 18 years, he was in Qatar Toastmasters. Let me welcome Toastmasters.
Yeah. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. A special greeting to our target speaker, Madam Toastmaster Praveena. It was an excellent speech. Let me cover my speech as speech delivery and speech content. Before that, I'd like to say, we all have heard of this thing, the basic fundamental needs of humanity, food, water and shelter. But out of the box today, we heard this, food, water and peace for this generation. It's an awesome message we are taking today, and it's a pinnacle of your speech. That was nice. You started nicely about the practice, and you moved to the content about what is this PEP. Instead of giving a surprise, like some of the speakers telling at the end of it, you started beginning with narrating, with a nice presentation also. Frame Robert Foundation's Peace Education Program, PEP. It was an excellent. I have to appreciate you as a speaker showing the presentation. We heard your speech. Parallelly, that presentation was highlighting that message. So some of the speakers used to hide behind the presentation. You didn't do that. You conveyed your message. Being a persuasive speech, you persuaded the audience exactly as per the objective. And speech content was awesome with a lot of information about the workshop, 10 certified course you are conducting, and the relevant data in 209 countries in 30 languages, and children, anyone above 18 years is eligible. All these things was very nice, but the excellent part is this program is conducted in prisons also, and it's a proven effect in Telangana with this one. It's an awesome. But having said that, in the speech delivery, I can say your voice modulation was apt. Not screaming, being it's an informational speech with lot of messages. You apt message with the right voice modulation, eye contact with everyone, and just a small wish, a bright smile in between could have added value to your speech, because we were running with you, we were listening you, and the abbreviations were excellent. But the only thing, TPRF, I could not follow. TPR Foundation I have written, later I'll talk to you. The whole message was persuading, and you gave an excellent message. Having said this, I, as an evaluator in the scale of good, better, best, to make your speech the best tomorrow, I do have some friendly suggestions as a Toastmaster. You could have mentioned your contribution and what is the action plan in that. It would have given more clarity for us to follow you and to join in this one. In future, overwish this one. And the second one is your contribution, what is possible from your side and from your experience. And the name can be, these are all nice way of impressing the judges also in the contest. You can see, instead of giving the acronym PEP, I would have, if it's my speech, I would have given Celebrate Humanity. Because it's an awesome message you are giving for the human with the word peace. Because peace is the most required thing today in the world. the difference of opinion will be there. We are humans. Wherever humans are there, we have reached moon also. Wherever we humans go, there will be difference of opinion. But when it leads to other categories of difference of opinion like war and other casualties, then the word peace matters a lot in our life. It was an excellent speech. Good wishes. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sundaresan, for this useful evaluation. Next, in order to evaluate our Toastmaster Pravda, we have a Toastmaster from Ford Toastmasters, Toastmaster Ajit. He is working in global technical research. He's working in global technical research leader in Ford IT. His interests include artificial intelligence and machine learning, as well as performance automobiles. Right now, he is the VP of Ford Chennai Toastmasters Club. So, I leave this stage.
Toastmaster Pravda, today your dynamic leadership level 3 project to using presentation software. So in the beginning I said what are the tenets of a good presentation, how to use it. I think you nailed it. From the time I am seeing the first slide, I am very curious what is behind that first slide. And I was curious because when you said double-edged sword, I was not able to initially connect, but that's the beauty of it. You had a great opening. From the image, you took the people all the way to artificial intelligence. So that was a great opening. And coming to the body of the speech. Looking at you, clearly looked at the target audience. Who is going to listen to this? This is a medical topic. I am very much interested. But you looked at the individuals and then you took a light version of your topic and introduced how CD and known AA are applied. And from there you segued into a topic of bringing medical artificial intelligence, which was a great segue from a general knowledge to a higher knowledge. And in your slides, I noted that you used a lot of short videos, which was great. Because some images may not convey the entire thing, like that short video on the brain, all were great videos, which was powerful. And then some of the areas which I felt you should concentrate more. I always felt you took more topic than required. I always, if I was doing, I should have taken only 2. Because of your interest in topic, you took 3 and you were eager to explain all the 3. That made into certain confusions. One was your, the word rate was very high. So you were speaking faster than required. And sentences were a bit longer than perfect. So that's one area you can constantly work on. Another area I noted was all went great, but because of this pointer, you always kept the pointer like this. You didn't change this position. So this pointer is something you need to work on. Otherwise, it was a meticulous presentation, and to make it great, you can always think about having some kind of theme for the presentation. But your current topic occupied the entire screen. There is no scope for a theme. But for some other presentation, you can always include it. And closure, as I said, it was great. You were clearly bringing that point of that double-edged sword, how A is becoming a double-edged sword, and that's how you concluded. So in overall, it was a great topic, great presentation. If you improve on certain points I mentioned, it will make greatest. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster, for your wonderful feedback. Now it's time to move on to evaluate the next speaker, and we have Toastmaster Prasanna Vani. She is basically a doctor and anesthesiologist. And she's a kind of a person who believes in putting the best in whatever she does. And yes, of course, most of you would have witnessed it personally. When I asked her about the theme of the day, she said we should have integrity and confidence inbuilt to a level that when we say something, somebody should believe it. That kind of confidence and integrity we should have. That's what her opinion about the theme of the day. Let me welcome Toastmaster Prasanna Vani on stage. Toastmaster and DTM Alex.
Thank you, Mr. Evaluator, Toastmaster Vijay. Greetings, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Today, we were lucky to see a pinnacle of a great storytelling event. They said that there is no greater power on earth than the power of a good story. And we saw a proof of that today. The story which TM Alex said was like watching a movie. It's like suddenly you see a scene in Mumbai, a lift coming, and two characters walking in. We could picturize those characters, one shabbily dressed and one well-kept, one affluent and one poor. It was all there in our mind as we listened to the story. And the best part was, the speaker narrated the story in the first person. He was a part of the story, and he said as if he's seeing what is happening and narrating it to us live. The literal language helped etch those characters in our mind strongly. And it was a non-linear style. We had the setup initially, and then we had this interest build up. What is the connection between them? Why is he curious to see? And then this interest was gradually hyped up until the end in the dinner. And then he goes back to the flashback and tells the story behind Mustafa and Arjun. The ending was with a message which seeked to inspire the audience that with determination one can come out of the adverse condition also. And the gestures which the speaker used emanated confidence. He used the steeple posture mostly. He moved the fluidic movement, which was very natural. Stance was casual, and he had good eye contact throughout the speech. To make this great blockbuster movie to an Oscar-level winning movie, here are a few of my humble suggestions. While it is said that content is the king, delivery is the queen. While the content had a conscious impact on me, I could visualize a story. It did not stir me emotionally. The idea of storytelling is for the person to feel emotionally affected, and that is what makes the content also etched deeper and longer. And this emotional impact can come through a few of techniques, such as the tone and vocal variety. He could have incorporated tone like Mustafa telling, "Hey Arjun, why have you come here?" And Arjun telling, "Mustafa, I need your help." These kind of tone would have made us empathize with those characters better. And also the pace at which the story goes, initially fast paced, and when you go back to the flashback, the pace could have been slowed down. That would have helped us relate more to their feelings. And the use of descriptive languages like idiom and metaphor, the figurative languages also add to the emotions. The body language I felt was a little restrained. While it showed confidence, a more dramatic body language would have helped instill the story deeper. The typical structure of the story is introduction, conflict and action. While the conflict was there and the flashback was there, it felt that the ending wasn't coming together as the action part was missing towards the end. To summarize, we had a confident storyteller who inspired us with two strongly edged characters, and to challenge yourself, I recommend to stir the emotional aspect of the audience through the tone and body language. Thank you.
As Toastmaster said, even I was able to visualize the movie that was running. In fact, I was even thinking, when you were drinking beer, I was thinking, why is scrolling out the disclaimer claim smoking is injurious to health is not correct. So, to that extent, I saw it was a wonderful movie indeed. So now it's time to go for the tag team. First person in the tag team is our timer. Let me invite our timer V. Sri Jai Anand on stage to give a detailed report on timer.
So, I'm meeting after a long time. And how are you now? After meeting, how are you feeling now?
Great.
Yeah. So, as a timer, I will read out my detailed report. Prepared speaker 1, Praveena took 7 minutes, and prepared speaker 2, Pravda took 7 minutes, and Alex Jokas took 6 minutes, and TT speaker 1, Venkatesan took 1 minute 30 seconds, and Sundaresan took 1 minute 30 seconds, and TM Suhail took 1 minute 53 seconds, and TM Suresh took 1 minute 25 seconds, and TM Shanmugavel took 1 minute 21 seconds, guest Ranjit Kumar took 1 minute 28 seconds, and TM Bharat took 1 minute 6 seconds, and Kalyani took 1 minute 23 seconds. Sintana took, Toastmaster Sintana took 1 minute 25 seconds. TM Balasubramaniam took 1 minute 48 seconds. Sundaresan Subramaniam took, that's for the TT speakers. We move on to the evaluator session, and Sundaresan Subramaniam took 3 minutes 40 seconds, and TM Ajit took 3 minutes 26 seconds, and evaluator 3, Toastmaster Prasanna Vani took 3 minutes 19 seconds, and educational speaker TM Saravanan took 45 minutes. And I want to thank all the dignitaries who give me this opportunity to play this role, and hope I will get the new roles to be played in the next meetings. And I thank you for all the dignitaries.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Srijay, for a very precise, keen and elaborate report on timings. Now it's time to invite our R-counter, Toastmaster Priyadarshini, on stage to give a detailed report on R-counting.
Hi, good evening again. And I think we are traveling to the pinnacle of giving a very good speech, because you made my work so challenging enough today. There were very few observations. Starting with me, I used many hours when I started my thing, so I'll start with me. Then Ranjit, guest, a friendly suggestion, your concept were very so good and everything. Only thing is you just minimize or try to control hours. So that is the only, but your language, everything was very good. Only on the you need to concentrate. And few so just a suggestion for you. And I do have Pravda. 1 or 2 places are and I were there, and was mostly repeated on the speech. Suresh, I liked your way of speaking, but too much of arms. So we could have controlled it. And not only arms, like I think, which I can relate it because I'm a mirror image of yours, which I use most. Now I control, so that's something doable only. Kalyani, few times of us. So these were the few observations, and last but not the least, Anuradha, few and sus. Those were my observations. Thank you, everyone.
So she has observed few hours in my speech as well. When I joined the company for the first time, my boss said, boss is always right, rule number 1. Rule number 2, if boss is wrong, go to rule number 1. Today I am your boss. So today, next one is our Grammarian. Let me invite our Toastmaster, Sissy Sebastian, on stage to give a detailed report on our grammar.
It was a pleasure listening to your speeches. I have made a note of good usages, codes and
words. And one quote it touches is, tough time creates strong men. Strong men create good times. Good time creates weak men. Weak men creates hard time. It was really wonderful. When you are born poor, it is not our mistake. When you are die poor, it is our mistake. That was also wonderful. Then grow, learn and transform. DCP is the pinnacle of success. Running behind the race. Personal peace is important. How do we rate ourselves? Repository of inner strength. Money doesn't equate to real peace and happiness. Go to bed without regrets. Artificial intelligence is a cutting edge technology. We have to be careful. PPP, plan, prepare and practice. Whatever communicated must be with proof. DCP is a big, okay, but I already told. Gratitude is an attitude to practice. Learning is for lifelong. Leader will grow and let others to grow. Empathy in leadership. Give your heart in what you do. Life is beautiful. Life gives us a lot of choices. Then content is the king, content is the king and delivery is the queen. Integrity and confidence. Time and money should be saved wisely. Invest in time. These are the good usages. Some words. Aesthetically, hacking precisely, aristocratic family, monotonic moments of truth, self-realization. Nothing lasts forever. Artificial intelligence, high resolution, plethora, revolutionary discovery, digital radiography, augmented reality, chronic condition, frontier, conventional surgery, three-dimensional view, robotic surgery, laparoscopy. Personal peace is important. Taboo topics, work-life balance, appeal, discover their own inner strength and personal peace. How do we rate ourselves? So many words. It was, thank you.
That was a very detailed report. Now coming to my report. Hope you all enjoyed today's meeting. Yes. I too enjoyed the meeting with 3 wonderful speeches. I like the opening of our Toastmaster Pravda, and as a speech is concerned, they used to say that something, so the audience should take away. So that that goes to Toastmaster Praveena. She gave a wonderful content to carry. And when it comes to DTM Alex Jacob's speech, I liked the way he built the tension. I learned the art. I was just sitting and watching his speech. And one small thing when compared with Alex Jacob's speeches, personally I felt that I was emotionally connected with your speech. I felt the emotion in your speech. Other than that, our table topic master gave wonderful topics, very useful topics. So speakers were able to connect, and almost even the guests were mindful when they were giving speech on your topics. So all the topics were carefully chosen. Now, and our minutes of the meeting, I have attended many club meetings. This minutes of the meeting, I found each and every member were enthusiastically participating in the minutes of the meeting and well conducted by our director.
You mean moments of
Moments of truth. Overall, I thoroughly enjoyed this meeting, and particularly our TMoD. He elaborated the theme of the day, and there was a sprinkle of humors all through the meeting. It's because of our TMoD's contribution. And meeting started on time, and almost we are close to, we are on time to finish this meeting. Overall, I enjoyed this meeting. Hope you also enjoyed this meeting. With this, I leave the floor to our team.
Thank you, Director. We are just 1 minute or so late, not much. See, last time, the previous cap I had, I didn't bring out my theme in the interest of time only. Now also I will give a very abridged version of important aspect of my lesson. Saying is believing. You say, you start believing. And then what you believe, you say. What you say, you believe. The cycle goes on. Where does it lead to? In the long run, for this individual, a synchronization of thought, word and action will take place. That creates the best positive attitude in this person, and a wonderful personality will emerge from this. So the saying and believing, they are just small elements with which you start, and then you can reach there. Grammarian is not going to count, but I am telling that. I enjoyed the meeting very well, and today most of you have contributed, except probably 1 or 2 who didn't have occasion to speak. I congratulate all of you. Let us give ourselves a big round of applause. And the last voting for the tag role players and voting for the meeting role players. Do you know the tag role players? Timer is Sri Jayanand. Our counter is Priyadashini, and then the Grammarian is Cecil Sebastian. The TMoD is myself for the meeting role player, General Director Toastmaster Vijayarajan, and the table topic master is Toastmaster Rekha. So you can vote whichever way it is presented. I am giving my control back to the presiding officer.
Thank you, TMoD. So how was the day today? It was a pinnacle day, pinnacle meeting, a pinnacle moments of truth. Really, I enjoyed this today, moments of truth. He engaged us effectively, and it was effective moments of truth. And now it's time for the guest to give their view, please. Your view about today's meeting. Welcome.
This is my second meeting, as saying again. Today's meeting revolved around various topics which was quite enthusiastic, curious. Each and every speakers who are professionals in their own sense gave a very beautiful speech, and I enjoyed very much. And myself, for table topics, this is my second time, and I think I was able to relate it and give a good speech, and I can improve in that sense.
I thank all the members and guests for your involvement, even though it is half an hour late than the usual meeting. But all of you are very patient and very involved. So thanks for your commitment. Now it's time for announcement of the awards. Yes.
Alex.
DTM Alex.
Alex,
please come and give your feedback.
After a long time, you are running my team free.
We are eager to listen to your story.
Any changes?
Welcome.
So when we used to attend the Medley meetings, good old times, right? So these are the feedback called fillers. You know something else is happening in the background and you will fill somebody and say, okay, come and talk or give a speech and distract the audience. So I will how much time do you have? I'm sure Paul setting will take another 5 minutes. Right, so it is fantastic to be back here because after COVID, I'm part of 2 clubs. One is Wake Up Chennai Toastmasters, another is 360-degree Toastmasters Club. So Wake Up is mostly an online club, whereas 360 is in person. So what I really like is coming here and speaking and seeing the audience reaction to various dialogues, context, and see how the tension is on the audience face. Because these are things which you get a real feedback, right? So I think that's the reason why I'm here. Medley has been always special. The best of the Medley moments or Toastmaster experience in the last 15 years was always in Medley. There was a time, I don't know when exactly, but 2015 to 16 times, 6 months in a row, we had around 50 people in the room. 6 months in a row.
Yeah, in Grammarian club.
Grammarian club. And XCOM and a few others used to stand in the back because there were no seats available. I think that was one of the best moments of Toastmastering. So that's how Toastmastering is all about. Thank you so much.
So let us start with the tag role player. Best tag role player. Any guess? Yes. Toastmaster Sri Jai Anand. Congratulations. Best table topic speaker, Toastmaster Balasubramanian. Congratulations. Best evaluator goes to our PPE, Toastmaster Prasanna Vani. Congratulations. Best speaker award goes to TM Alex Jacob.
Yes.
You don't give it.
Yes. Give certificates.
Best role player goes to our chartered member, past president, TM Thank you so much for all the members and guests. With this, I adjourn the meeting number 745.